Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us today on this webinar titled How to Capture and Convert Your Mobile Customers, Best Practice in Action. Before we get started, we're going to just quickly go through a few housekeeping bits and pieces just to make sure that everyone can receive the webinar effectively. If you can't see the presentation, just make sure you enable pop-ups. The presentation will actually come up in a separate window. If you can't hear, try and refresh your browser. If you have a question, can you please chat them into the Q&A box? And then at the end there will be a survey. Hopefully we can gauge on how we did, and that sort of goes towards us improving the next version of these webinars. If you want to hear it again, there will be a link that will be coming in the next week. We'll be emailing those out to whoever has registered. As an introduction, my name is Alex Lamverhey. I'm the Mobile Solution Manager at Google and the Mobile Display Lead. And my other colleague that will be speaking today, I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, I'm Koyan. I'm Mobile Product Marketing Manager in APAC. And today I'm going to talk to you about GOMO, Google initiative about building mobile optimized site. After Alex first talk about the research.
So to kick things off, I just wanted to start with a quote from Mary Meeker. So for anyone who hasn't heard of Mary Meeker, she's kind of like the oracle of the technology world. She has basically come out and said mobile is ramping up faster than any other technology we've seen in the past. Being a technology sort of oracle, this basically means that the adoption, evolution, and penetration of mobile devices in the world is basically unprecedented. So it's the fastest growing technology that we've ever seen. Alarmingly to that, when we look at Australia and what's happening, only 10% of, so this is an overall global number, only 10% of Google advertisers have a mobile optimized site, and only 1% of Australian ad spend is actually on mobile. We're just going to quickly go through the agenda, and then we're going to kick straight into the research. So today's agenda, we're going to look at the smartphone research, understanding the mobile consumer. We're going to look quickly at some Google Mobile solutions to be there when your customers look for you. And then Soyan will take over and have a look at Go Mobilize Your Site Now, optimizing your site for mobile customers. So as an introduction to the research, this is the first iteration of the Ipsos research that we partnered with a company called Ipsos. Last year we did it in Q1, and this year again we did it in Q1, so we were able to see the year-on-year growth and changes that we were examining. So the four main areas that we're going to cover today that we've looked at is how are smartphones used in daily life, what role does smartphone play in the shopping process, which is something that's really important for our advertisers, how the consumers use their smartphone for local search. There's going to be some ongoing themes about locality and immediacy, which plays into how mobiles tend to be different to desktop and laptops. And last, how do consumers respond to ads offline and on mobile? So the first piece, smartphones are indispensable to daily life. So last year in Q1, our smartphone penetration in the country was 37%, and that had us at number 2, only behind Singapore. In Q1 of this year, we're now actually dropped back to 4th, but we've actually seen a massive increase that is now 52% of the Australian online population. What this really means is that we've got over half the population walking around the cities and in our towns with mobile devices that are as powerful as what would be deemed as supercomputers 20 years ago. The amount of information they have access at their fingertips has greatly increased, and what we're seeing is that the technology is actually driving the consumer and it's actually our retailers that are having to start to change the way they fundamentally do business. Some interesting stats, 23% of people that we interviewed would rather give up their TV than their smartphone. This morning I saw that in Australia, our teenagers, about 57% would rather give up food for a full day than they would their smartphone. So really astonishing facts where people are really reliant on these mobile devices to do everyday tasks, whether it's business related or whether it's entertainment related. Of the people that we interviewed, 51% of them said that they perform at least one kind of search every single day. So search is the mobile device is a real entry point for search and what we do. The benefits of, working for Google and having some information is all our products are on, most of our products are on desktop and mobile, and we have a little bit more of an insight into how the behaviors are different and how things have changed, which is something that we'll start to discuss a little bit later. Smartphone, we have noticed being used while multitasking with other media. This sort of stat becomes really interesting when we start talking about how integrated our media is. So the example that I like to use is that if you are in the car listening to a radio station and you hear a really good ad, or you see a billboard with a really good advertisement on it, and you decide that you are more interested in that particular product or service, generally, you don't tend to turn the car around so you can have a look at the billboard again or wait in the car until the radio station goes through. What you'll tend to do is go home and search it on your desktop. But now with these mobile devices in our pockets, the ability to just search it straight away is there. So this is kind of a story that we've been telling for years about having your offline media match your online media in search, but it's even more important when we start talking about mobile search. So being at the bus stop, seeing something on the side of a bus, or seeing something on TV that gauges our interest, our first instinct is to grab our phones and search for more information. So look at these stats. 80% of us use a smartphone while consuming other media, 48% while watching TV, 29% while watching movies, and 34% while using the internet. So whether you're using Facebook or watching something on YouTube, people are still grabbing their phones and conducting searches and using their mobiles. And also this whole idea of integrating TV programming with your mobile, things like The Voice, which are gauging audiences to actually tweet in questions and tweet in comments, and then appearing them on the screen is another big driver of what we're seeing in terms of the integration of different media. The next piece is that smartphones help users navigate the world around them. So as I alluded, there's a very strong trend that most people that are searching on mobile devices tend to have a more local and immediate need. It generally means that if they're searching for a TV on a mobile device, it's probably because they're inside a Harvey Norman and they're actually looking for a better price or looking at actual specific specifications. The other pieces around locality. So we're seeing that 1 in 3 searches actually have local intent, which means they're looking for a local restaurant or a local business. With that, we've asked of the people that we asked, 86% of smartphone users have looked up local information, and 88% have taken action as a result. So a really huge number there. 88% have actually taken a result. If we dive a little bit deeper into what these results are, we can look at seeing that 65% actually connected with a business, 68 visited the business, 19 told others about it, and more importantly, 39% of them actually went on to make a purchase. So just looking at the first few around contacting the business, this is where our search hyperlocal type ad units become very important. If someone is looking for a business, we've got to make sure that we give them the opportunity to either make a phone call with click to call or some sort of mapping ad unit such as hyperlocal to make sure that when they click on it, they can easily direct themselves straight through to it. 39% making a purchase is also another massive piece. We'll look a little bit more into how those purchases are done, whether they're on mobile, online, or offline in a second. Also, I just wanted to confirm that all these stats are Australian related. So the Ipsos study covered 40 countries and we interviewed about 40,000 people. The stats that we're going through are purely smartphone related and purely Australian stats as well. Smartphone changes the way that consumers shop. So 94% of people that we questioned have researched some sort of product or service on their phone. So this is sort of part of everyone's daily lives now. Whether it's looking for a cinema or looking for a TV or trying to find something on eBay, people tend to be researching on their mobile devices. The other interesting thing around this is that we're also delaying our research. By having all this information in the palm of our hands, we feel that we don't need to sort of sit at the desktop and plan what we're hoping to do. As an anecdote for me, myself, I know that when I go to the movies, it's more a case of meeting up with people for lunch, and we know we can jump straight on our smartphones and have a look at what movie we're going to go watch later on. Whereas traditionally, it was more about jumping on the desktop or reading the newspaper if we go back far enough, and then figuring it all out. Other things, if we can use more examples, is going out to meet someone at a restaurant. You tend to sort of look it up, figure out where the address is, write it down, and then head off. For me now these days, it's more a case of just jumping in a cab and then looking up the addresses when I'm actually inside a taxi. And it's very much the same for business meetings and things like that. If we look at what this research is actually driving to, we're actually seeing that people are actually changing their minds about purchasing a product or service while in store, so 22% of them. There's someone that I work with that once said, if you want to go into a store and not be bothered by sales assistants, just take your phone out and start searching for things. They know that all the information that you need to make an informed decision will be at your fingertips. So this is a really big piece, and this is the sort of these are the sorts of questions that we're asking to sort of make retailers realize that they're going to have to fundamentally change the way that they keep people in store. The way that we see that happening are things like pushing out coupons to people in store, because ultimately if I'm in a Harvey Norman, I can find out where I can get the same product for cheaper, whether it's 50 meters around the corner, or whether I buy it online through online retailer and wait 3 days for it. So really important things that we should be talking to retailers about, that things are fundamentally going to change. The interesting thing, though, is it's not just online conversions that are being led by mobile. So research on mobile, 33% of them then led to a purchase on a computer, and even 29% then purchased it offline. So again, it's about closing that gap in between what is the value of a mobile user, connecting it to people walking in off the street from research that they've seen on their mobile, whether it's just your website or whether it's some sort of hyperlocal search creative which allowed them to find your business quickly and effectively. Smartphones are an emerging point of purchase. So 28% of smartphone users have purchased a product or service on their smartphone. 60% of these smartphone shoppers have made a purchase in the past month. The other stat is that a further 28% of people that we interviewed are actually planning to make even more purchases over the next 12 months. So the age-old story, well, it's not age-old, it's only about a year old, but the story that we've been telling in mobile is that your consumers are there, your consumers are purchasing, and it's all about the presence that you have when they're looking for you and when they're searching for you. Smartphones help advertisers connect with their customers. So again, playing back into this idea of integrating your media together, 63% of people that we interviewed have performed a mobile search after seeing an ad. So again, this is the kind of thing where if you see an ad on the TV, that you're grabbing your phone and you're looking it up straight away and making sure that you've got some sort of mobile search presence with the right messaging across there. So 42% with magazines, 37% billboards and posters, 54% for shop and businesses. So offline ad exposure leading to mobile search is a very, very big piece. Our other main solution around mobile ads is ads within application and also on websites, our display network. 87% of smartphone users have noticed mobile ads in these places. Looking a little bit more granularity into that, we've got 42% that have seen them in ads, 40% within the website, and again, search engine, videos, websites. So the actual real estate of a mobile device is obviously a lot smaller than your traditional desktop, and so ads are able to be noticed a lot more easier. Just quickly going through what the main ad creatives that I've sort of been discussing about on mobile. So the first one there is hyperlocal extensions. Like I mentioned, when people are searching for things on their mobile devices, it usually has some sort of local and immediate intent. What we want to do is we want to be giving them the option to visit the store or call the store or interact with the business as soon as possible. This is also a good alternative if they don't have a mobile website. Generally, if they don't have a mobile website, people tend to not want to invest into mobile search. But like I said, the customer's already there. The customer is searching for them, so they're going to find your full website anyway. The best way to do it is to actually give them the option to call the business. Click to download app. So applications is another huge piece that's happening in media today. On average, people in Australia have about 27 apps that are on their on their phone, and about 10 of those have been used in the last 30 days, and 7 of them have been paid for. So we've definitely seen the drive around consumer applications, and we've now have a click-to-download app creative. So if your directive is to get people to download your application and not forward them to a mobile website or to a full website, then we can have click-to-download ad creatives which will go straight through to the iTunes Store or the Android Marketplace. The click-to-call phone extension, I'll just quickly touch again. You can see there giving the option to make the phone call straight away. The general behavior if you're on a mobile is that you need to speak to someone straight away, otherwise you'd probably be on your desktop doing sort of upper funnel research. Site links is a very important one as well. Site links on desktop have proved to be very, very successful. When we again start talking about this idea of immediacy, they become even more important on mobile devices. If you imagine that you search for Telstra on your desktop and that you want to pay a bill, you might actually decide that you want to go into the Telstra website. You want to have a look at what promotions they've got on, what new products they have, and then eventually click through to pay your bill. If you're searching for Telstra on a mobile device and you want to pay your bill, there's a pretty good chance that you don't want to go through that whole stage and that you just want to pay your bill and get on with your day. You're probably on the bus or in a waiting room waiting to see a doctor or something. So Sitelinks has seen a much better increase in CTR than your more traditional desktop site links. So very, very important there as well. They're basically the ad creatives. In the following slides that Soyen's going to show, there will be some display examples as well, basically in-application banners. If anyone's got an app such as Angry Birds or Words with Friends or anything like that, I'm sure you guys have seen it, so we didn't feel it necessary to show it here. With that, I'm going to hand over to Soyen, and then after I'll be coming back for some questions and answers.
Okay, thank you, Alex. So now we have learned how your consumers use smartphone to research products and how the mobile search leads to online and offline sales as well as mobile commerce. As a next step, let's move on to GOMO part. When this many people are looking for your business on their smartphones, having a mobile site is no longer optional now. So GOMO is a Google-led initiative dedicated to helping businesses to go mobile by providing them with the tools and resources they need to make their websites more mobile-friendly. All this information can be found at howtogomo.com/au. If you think back to the 90s, you've seen something like this before. Consumer web adoption took off, and although consumers were jumping online, many businesses hesitated to create websites. Back then, they were convinced that their users were not online and that users would not convert for them in that new internet space. Well, we all know what happened. The internet ramped up faster than we could have ever imagined. Those who took action early had an edge on their competitors. Those who hesitated were playing catch-up. I think you all know where I'm going with this. We're seeing the same trends happening with mobile, and only faster. The mobile web is ramping up 8 times faster than the internet grew in the early 90s. It's 8 times. In a couple of years, not having a full mobile strategy will seem just as silly as not having a desktop web presence. Just to clarify, here's what we mean by a mobile site. So on your screen here, you can see a comparison between QuickBets.com's website as viewed on a mobile phone and the mobile site that they have built. Can you read the content on their full site, which you can see from the left-hand side, without squinting or easily book the hotel? Their mobile site, on the other hand, is easily viewed on the phone screen with clear links for me to tap on and find the hotels. Let's take a look at what the potential benefits are for your business if you choose to create a mobile site experience. Your customers generally expect their mobile experience to be just as good as their desktop one. Speed and loading time are especially important while they are on the go and looking for information.
Research shows that mobile-optimized websites help boost your engagement on your site, and for e-commerce clients, your customers are 51% more likely to purchase. You also want to invest in a mobile site for retention purpose. 40% of users surveyed say that they will visit a competitor's site instead due to poor mobile experiences. Moving ahead, we'd like to now introduce you a set of 10 best practices for mobile sites across industries. These are 10 mobile site best practices. Keep it quick, simplify navigation, be thumb-friendly, design for visibility, make it accessible, make it easy to convert, make it local, make it seamless, use mobile site redirects, learn, listen, and iterate. And we'll show you actual mobile site examples for some of these best practices. First, simplify navigation. Make it easy for people to get around. Ideally, people should only scroll one way. On touch screens, that's usually from top to down, just like you can see on the Bunnings example. Consider using a prominent search box to get customers what they want quickly and save them some time from browsing through a much smaller screen. Second, be thumb-friendly. On mobile touch screens, you're designing for fingers, not mice. Pad your links and buttons so that it's clear where users need to click. Making all your links isolated will also help prevent against accidental clicks on mobile. You can see that here in the Kohl's and Hair Club for Men examples. They take a lot of the best practices we've just discussed, like making the content and layout really simple to access. Kohl's has built clear, distinct buttons for each of the key menus, and Hair Club on the right places their call button at the very top, away from the other links, to make sure that anyone who wants to talk to a rep can easily click on the button and dial without accidentally clicking elsewhere. The third tip is make it easy to convert. Ultimately, you want to make it easy for your visitors to take some sort of significant action. Do you want them to fill out a lead form, visit you in person, or simply just give you a call? Think about what the significant conversions you want your mobile users to take. Sometimes this may be different from your mobile than on desktop. After all, your mobile users may be on the go, ready to take action, and have access to features on their phones that are unique to mobile, just like their cameras, a GPS, a barcode scanner. Once you've decided on what you want your mobile users to do on your website, design it to make it easier for them to take quick action and convert. Keep the conversion process short. If you're using lead forms, don't put too many fields in. Use menus that people can pick from to avoid too much typing in a mobile keyboard. Also, remember to make it local. Did you know that over 1/3 mobile searches on Google have some sort of local intent in them? As we have seen from the research from earlier slides, after looking up a local business on their smartphone, 54% of Australian smartphone users have then called the business, and 50% have visited its location. So, help people find and get to you from your mobile website. Make sure your address, phone number, and store locator with maps is included on your mobile website. If possible, include local deals and check-in offers for your business. Finally, listen, learn, and iterate. Don't expect to get it perfect on the first go. After all, think about the many tweaks and adjustments you make to your desktop site. Listen to your users after you launch your mobile site, but also let the data speak for itself. Use Google Analytics to understand how mobile users are interacting with your site and make tweaks based on what content is popular or what's driving the most conversions. Now let's look and see how two companies have really brought these into life. The first case study I would like to introduce to you is Australian hotel booking company QuickBeds.com. Sean, global head of online and e-commerce of QuickBeds.com, worked for 12 years in USA, saw the big mobile opportunities emerging there, but saw less urgency when he came back to Australia. However, as their broader business, which is Flight Centre, could be criticized for being slow to get online, he didn't want to miss the next emerging trend, such as mobile. Although it is easy for the business to get caught up in the day-to-day digital projects, Sean decided to think about long-term strategy and start mobile marketing. When they launched mobile site, the result proved that Sean made a right decision. Today, nearly 20% of QuickBeds traffic is coming from mobile, and earning could be down at least 10 to 15% without the mobile site in place. As we all know, online hotel booking industry is very competitive. In such an environment, QuickBeds.com feels the mobile website gives them an edge over some rivals who haven't reacted. Online accommodation is all about being in the right place at the right time, so mobile strategy is an absolute essential part of their overall presence. Here are 3 tips to mobilize your business from QuickBeds.com. So first, use data to identify key consumer behaviors on your site and simplify for mobile. 2. Testing is key. Make sure you have access to the mobile test environment immediately. 3. Don't delay developing your mobile site. Get buy-in from internal stakeholders now and get started today. Our second case study is Foxtel. Foxtel is one of Australia's most progressive and dynamic media companies, delivering a diverse subscription television service to both regional and metropolitan areas over cable, satellite, and broadband distribution. Foxtel has been looking at new ways of acquiring customers, and while looking at the figures of search on mobile devices, they realized they have to be where the customers are. Also, they felt necessity to provide some of their most popular functions in simplified format on the mobile sites for their current subscribers for better user experience. In conjunction with building their mobile site, Foxtel sought to streamline and drive mobile users to visit their mobile site through AdWords mobile campaigns. After the mobile site went live, Foxtel has noticed that over 30% of traffic is now coming from mobile devices. They have also enabled click-to-call function with the launch of their mobile optimized site, and the campaign is beginning to pay off. They're receiving calls from potential subscribers who found information about Foxtel from their smartphones. Foxtel's top 3 secret recipes for their well-structured mobile sites are: first, partner with an experienced mobile site developer who can help streamline the process. Second, simplicity is key. Make sure information customers are looking for is available within 2 clicks. Third, prioritize search functionality on your mobile site. Now that you know what makes a good mobile website and have seen actual examples of these, we'd like to next share with you some tips and tools for how you can start creating your own mobile-friendly website. The first thing you should do before you build your mobile website is to simply see what your customers are seeing. You can run your site through our Gomo meter, which is on howtogomo.com/au. This is an emulator tool that will show you what your site looks like on a smartphone. It is also a great tool for checking out your competitors or seeing who's in your industry has a mobile-friendly website. If you're trying to convince others in your company to build a mobile site, it's really amazing how effective this first step is of simply taking a look in the mirror at your own site and showing others what the competition is doing. With the Gomo meter, you'll find out how your site scores on the mobile friendliness scale and get performance data on how fast your page loaded. After you answer a few questions based on your business type and the screenshot you see, you can also get a free personalized report on how you can make your site more mobile friendly using the 10 best practices. Next, we recommend that you take a look at your website analytics to get insights on your mobile users. See how much of the traffic to your website is coming from mobile users. I'll bet that this has risen significantly over time. Data like this can help you make your business case for investing in building a mobile-friendly website. In the best practices, we talked about how it's important to keep things quick and make the most important information and features of your site easy to access. In most analytics tools, you can segment your traffic by mobile users and see what content is most important to them. What are the most popular pages of products? Where do mobile users to go versus desktop users? Are they going to the store locator page? That gives you a clue you should make that prominent and quick to get to from your homepage. Segmenting your reports by mobile traffic helps you to prioritize the content, features, and functionality that is most important to your mobile users. You can apply this advanced segmentation of mobile users throughout your analytics report. Look at your goals, conversions, and e-commerce activity. Is their drop-off point in the conversion funnel different for mobile users than desktop? This gives you insight into how you might shorten or improve the conversion process for mobile users. Also, you might find interesting insights like, although there are less purchases made from mobile users, their average order value might be higher. The key thing is to segment your traffic by mobile users and see what insights you can gain to help you design a better mobile experience that can help drive conversions and meet your marketing goals. Before you begin building your mobile site, it's important to first ask yourself, what are your marketing and business goals? Do you want to drive straight lead generation? Do you have a new product that you are launching that you want to drive greater brand awareness around? This can also help determine the size and type of mobile site you need. For instance, maybe you can get started with just a mobile landing page like DirecTV example you can see from left-hand side. They use a mobile landing page with click-to-call functionality to drive leads and new subscriptions. Or you could build a campaign microsite for a new product launch like Wacom did for their Bamboo Touch tablet. Maybe your company has multiple products and services. A great way to start testing mobile site is to perhaps build a microsite for one of the products. Of course, you can optimize your full desktop website to be mobile friendly too. I want to emphasize again the best practice of launching and learning. Don't think that you have to go all in and do your complete website if you're not ready to. Think about other ways that you could do some early mobile tests to get data such as through landing pages and microsites. Sometimes better to start small, get some data, and take your learnings to improve your mobile experience. If you're doing your full mobile website, that's great. Just remember to continuously listen to your users and get feedback to improve your website. Okay, so once you've decided on the size and scope of the mobile site you want to develop, you may find that you need help actually building it. On howtogomo.com/au, we've compiled a listing of mobile site builders that can help. These companies span the range of mobile site offerings to meet your needs. Whether you want some DIY tools and just something quick and simple, or whether you have more complex needs like e-commerce capability and want a full service solution. Okay, at Google, we really care about experience that users have online, and GOMO is our initiative to help make the mobile web better and to move it forward. Okay, based on what we have learned today, we suggest you to take the next steps to further mobilize your business. First, learn more about Australian smartphone consumers at thinkwithgoogle.com/mobileplanet. All the research data that Alex covered today, you can find from this website. So please visit thinkwithgoogle.com/mobileplanet and then create your own chart to find the answers for your question that you had about mobile users in Australians. And also you can download the country report which you saw that Alex presented today. And secondly, visit howtogomo.com/au site to find out tips for mobile optimized site and receive customized report for your business. So you can run the Gomo report from this website and then have a look at the 10 best practices again, and finally find the mobile site developer that can help you to build the mobile optimized website. Yeah, and I just covered the third point. So fourth point, boost your mobile site traffic with Google Mobile Ads. Find out more information at google.com/mobile ads. So you can find all those information about mobile search ads as well as mobile display ads. And lastly, check the difference your new mobile optimized site brought to your business from Google Analytics. So we highly recommend you to implement Google Analytics code to your mobile website. So after you creating the mobile website, actually you can track the performance of your new mobile website, and actually like the conversions and the performance got better after launching the new site. Okay, so before jumping to Q&A session, we want to ask you to take a very short survey about our webinar here. So please click the URL that you see from your screen, and then you will be able to answer the survey questions that we prepared. And now we will check the questions that we have received and then cover.
Thank you, Soyan. So there's some pretty good questions coming through. The first one that I will answer is, can you track conversions using click-to-download applications? So yes, you absolutely can. Within the Google AdWords platform, the Android conversion tracking is already implemented. It's just a case of going to the tools and going through the conversion tracking flow. When you get to the part where it'll say this is the code you need to implement, it'll just say, as this is an Android app, you don't have to implement any code, and then you should start seeing the downloads come through. For iOS, which is your iPhone and iPad, we will be rolling out a service that will be very similar to what our AdMob product was, and anyone that was on our AdMob piece tracking downloads will also be able to continue to track those conversions within AdWords within the next couple of weeks. So that's something we've just got to look out for. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds. Can you check the chat? To the next question, how do you measure conversions on mobile? Is this now possible? So it's very much similar to desktop. You just decide what your conversion is, whether it's a thank you page or whether it's a purchase, and you can do the very similar, if not all, the type of conversions on desktop you can now do on mobile as well. What's better for a mobile site? M-domain, similar to m.domain.com, domain.com/mobile, domain.mobi. I haven't actually seen too much research or data around that. From a usability perspective, I prefer m.domain.com. Usually, the agent will usually redirect you directly to the mobile website if you're on a mobile or not. Being on a mobile device, the URL header is obviously a lot smaller than desktop, so it's always good to be able to see that you're at an m dot something. If you do something like domain.com/mobile, if you've got a long URL to begin with, you might not actually see the /mobile, not be aware that you're on the mobile website. Obviously, it should be pretty clear, but as a first indication, looking at the URL, having an m dot something should be a pretty good way to know that you've been redirected effectively. do you recommend different mobile website development processes for tablets and smartphones? This is going to be a really interesting piece that's going to start to develop over the next few quarters. Traditionally, it was mobile website for mobiles, and we were directing tablet users directly to the full HTML5 website. I have seen some mock-ups of companies that are starting to create a tablet-specific website. The other one is one that adapts as per the actual device. So if you, one really good resource is the Google Mobile Ads Google Mobile Ads blog. If you go on there in the last 2 weeks, there was something that was posted around websites that are designed in a way that you don't actually have to recode it, and then as the size of the browser changes, the content changes. So that's one that's going to sort of probably be developed over time. So it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen there. What is required to set up a click-to-call conversion path? The click-to-call conversion is a little bit tricky. In an ad creative, whether it's a display ad or a search ad, once you click the banner or the phone number, the native caller of the phone will actually take over, and we lose all visibility of what actually happens after that, whether the user actually makes the phone call or not. The most effective way to do that, and I understand that sometimes it does take a little bit more of a sophisticated phone system, but it's actually to set up a separate phone number for a particular campaign so that you know that how many of those clicks are actually turning into actual phone calls, and then furthermore, how many of those are actually converting within your business. So that's the best practice. There isn't too much that we can do. It's just a limitation of the technology that once you click that, we lose visibility of what's going on. The survey link has been pushed out now. There was a question of where that was. We'll push it out again for you. Thank you very much for doing that. What's the best way to send in-store promotions to customers using their smartphones in your store? That again is something that's going to start to develop in terms of new technologies. We think there's going to be things around Bluetooth, things around Wi-Fi within the store. There's also going to be things around NFC, so near-field communication, barcode scanners. There's a whole lot of things that are going to come through. I still think there's going to be a few other technologies that are going to be even better. The slides, as I mentioned, will be sent out within the next week to anyone that's registered. Let's see if there are any new questions. There is a stat on how many people are actually making purchases. Of the people that research and connect to a business, I think it was about 39% actually go on to make a purchase. But as I mentioned, this deck will go out, so the stat is in there. The sample size that we took within Australia was 1,000. So as I mentioned, we did 40 countries, and in each of those countries we interviewed 1,000 people. From Fairfax, RSVP has both an M-Site and a handheld style sheet version of the desktop, i.e. fluid design. Which version to best keep in the long term? Again, if you go to that blog, there's definitely a comparison of what the benefits of having a full website and mobile website is to having the one that actually adjusts itself. There's decisions that you have to make around the resources that you have to update them. Obviously, if there's different amounts of resources needed to update certain ones. Some of them have to be redesigned. So there are a lot of questions that you have to ask before you can make that sort of decision. More importantly, though, it's about looking at the analytics. And for a customer like RSVP, it's all about conversions. Seeing which site is converting better is probably going to line up with your business objectives a lot better than anything that I could suggest. Why do so many mobile websites prevent you from accessing their full site even though their mobile site functionality is often restricted? That's a very good question. It's definitely one of our best practices that we allow, so that you allow people to access the full website. From speaking with advertisers over the last 2 years, they generally feel that if they don't have a mobile website, or if you're on a mobile and you're not on their mobile website, there's a less chance of you converting or doing what you're trying to do. As you can imagine, booking a hotel on a full HTML5 website compared to a mobile device is actually going to be a lot harder. So I guess some webmasters out there are restricting the ability to go to a website which they believe is not going to be as effective for them in terms of maybe profitability or conversions or something similar. Oops, sorry, we've covered that one off. Let me just refresh this. I think we've covered off every question for now. If there's any more, I urge you to ask them now. Okay, so there's no other questions. No, we covered that one. So if there's no other questions, we'll probably close it off there. As I mentioned, you've got a lot of additional resources there. The Google Mobile Ads blog is a really good blog to have a look at what's happening with all our products. We've also put all our research up there. I guess the only other thing that I'll mention around the conversion piece is that there's a lot of work that we're doing around this idea of micro-conversions. Having a mobile search looking for your business is part of a conversion, and making the call is another part of a conversion. Walking in store is again another part. So we really think that one of the trends in 2012 is that the real value of a mobile user will start to become evident, and we're also going to see mobile spend become a major piece of media spend within the country as well. So with that, I will close things off. Thank you once again for attending. I hope that it's been of value to you and to your business, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.